Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray and we are here to watch the performance music video for The Rizzness by Taemin. Now, it just dropped like an hour ago. It's very early for me on a Sunday. Okay, so I have already seen this because he released it during his concert. So I'm actually watching it a second time. What I'm gonna do is I did actually record a reaction to his Metamorph concert that I watched for the 16th. I watched the 16th one on Beyond Life. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out the part that is, you know, the performance video when it, you know, showed up during the concert, and I'm gonna splice it into this video. So you're gonna see my first reaction to that, and hopefully it doesn't get struck or anything. And then I'm going to actually record an actual reaction to this release on YouTube, and that'll be my second reaction. So I'm talking now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit in my first reaction in the middle, and then you'll see my second reaction, which I'm about to record now, and then I'm actually going to discuss it, because obviously when I was watching the concert, I didn't have time to sit there and like analyze everything that I was seeing and everything like that. So I'm going to use this opportunity to actually talk about some of my thoughts about the performance video. Yeah, in more depth, and yeah, and then we'll jump right in. Honestly, I'm really excited. I loved it when I saw it during the concert, so I'm sure I'm gonna love it now in HD, because the concert stream was not necessarily the best quality. It was okay. It was good for a live stream concert, but for actual full visuals and the full feast, it wasn't very good. So I'm excited to get it now with the best quality it could possibly have. So honestly, enough talking about it. Let's jump in. Let's go. Yo, these women ate them men up! Yeah. Why are they gagging? What is this lesbian activity happening right now? Like, why am I getting sapphic vibes? Yo, why are the women eating the men up so bad? Yo! No, we need to talk about this, y'all. That was crazy. That was crazy. They ate them up so bad. Oh my god. Oh, is this the performance video? Oh, I'm seeing it now, I guess. This demon versus angel dichotomy. Yo, if this is the performance video that he's gonna show, I guess I'm seeing it now. Ooh, nice. Oh, I love this black and white aesthetic, by the way. I guess I'll cut this out. Oh, y'all, this is like almost a full video. Oh, not the CGI. His silly court, unsilly court aesthetic. His fey aesthetics for this, so nice. Oh, that transition from his light side to his dark side. These transitions are fantastic. God, this song eats, y'all. And now we're in what? Hell? Purgatory? Those match cuts, y'all. Oh, he is so on right now. Oh, he's eating this up, y'all. Interesting that his dark elf side is mostly alone. I think he's completely alone when he's in his dark elf form. Whereas the angelic side has his, you know, his ladies. So he's not isolated for those. Interesting. I wonder what that means. I'll think about it. You know I got the rizzness. Still my favorite song on the Guilty album. Although Guilty is like right next to it, really. I pretty much like them equally, but for different reasons. I love this video, by the way. His little his tooth fairy outfit. Got like a, you know, Springport versus Winterport outfit going on. Same. City versus uncity. I think that's how you say Don't really care, more than get also I love this like hellscape. You know I got the rizzness. 널 집어삼키지. My rizzness. Sit down and listen up. This feels like a whole music video, by the way. All the CG stuff and the scene transitions, it feels like a full... This is an early SM music video. We all remember the early SM music videos. They were exactly like this. Well, maybe not with all the CGI, but I mean like, basically just a performance video. This song is so good, y'all. It eats. You know I got the rizzness. And I love the choreo for this. He looks so good with like the fade ears and the makeup, the stylized makeup that makes him look otherworldly, a little bit demonic. But he also, yeah, I talk about it. And his girl gang that he's had for all of the songs for Guilty, by the way. All the performances for Guilty have been with his girl gang, which is a real choice. I really like it. It's either with his girl gang or alone. He did do a couple of songs, but it was just him singing. Beautiful. I love that. I love that so much. Y'all.
You know I got the rizzness 널 집어삼키지 My rizzness sit down and listen up Sit down and listen up Ooh, sit down and listen up 난 그저 가만히 내려봐 open the boy Yeah 오만한 시선이 물어와 Hey what you doing Don't really care 모든 게 우스워 난 Yeah 그럴듯한 거짓에 눈이 없어 내 안에만 두기를 기울여 난 You know I got the rizzness 널 집어삼키지 My rizzness sit down and listen up Sit down and listen up Sit down and listen up 효율적인 누군가의 수근거림 나는 숨죽인 채 가실 속엔 비웃음 차갑게 귀를 파고들 때 때를 기다리듯이 굳게 닫혀있는 lips You know I'm icy 긴 말은 필요 없지 하나둘씩 입술에 숫자를 세네 이제와 침묵한다면 곤란해 Feeling so random 끝끝내 버텨내 이 손에 쥐어진 hand Desperado 맞서는 잠깐이라도 힘이 예져가는 shadow 그들이 막으려 해도 서서히 켜지는 candle Yeah 어지럽게 엇갈린 수많은 말 Don't really care 모든 게 우스워 난 Yeah 그럴듯한 거짓에 눈이 없어 내 안에만 두기를 기울여 난 You know I got the rizzness 널 집어삼키지 My rizzness sit down and listen up Sit down and listen up Sit down and listen up Get up That's right, baby. Come on. You know what it is. Let's go. The rizzness, 널 집어삼키지. My rizzness, sit down and listen up. Sit down and listen up. You know I got the rizzness, 기진 널 이끌지. My rizzness, sit down and listen up. Sit down and listen up. Ooh, sit down and listen up.
All right. Oh my God. The Rizzness. No, I love that song. I love that song so much. I actually watched it a third time, but off camera, just to read the lyrics again. I'd read the lyrics a little bit, like a few weeks ago, actually, but I wanted to see what the translation would be for SM, the SM release, because obviously any other lyrics that I read were translated by, other people. It's such an interesting song, lyrically, I mean. It's such an interesting song because it makes me feel like it's a follow-up to Advice, or it sits at the same table with Advice. Just the meaning behind the song, the idea of Taemin being like, I'm not listening to you, I only listen to myself, I only take my own advice, is what he said in that one. I'll take my own advice. And then in this one, he's like, I listen to only my voice, whatever. Only my voice matters. And the idea of like, I'm not listening to your whispers and your comments, the lips moving, like that's what he was saying all throughout the Rizzness. And that kind of connects to, some of the lyrics from Advice and the way he was kind of using Advice to push back against the way like the media and people online and stuff like that would talk about him, and would make assumptions about him and would try to put him in a box, etc. And I feel like he's doing the same thing with the Rizzness. Obviously the Rizz in question is not just about, like, he's using it in the way it means charisma, and that his Rizz is leading you, is pulling you in, is controlling you. That's basically what that part of the song is talking about. So he's taking this idea of being, attractive to other people, being charismatic, being able to lure people in, and making it about the power play that he was kind of playing around with in Guilty, because of course Guilty was all about that push and pull between this person who wants to control and the person who is being controlled, and the way that he is transforming through both of those roles. And I feel like this is like a continuation of that. The Rizz in question being his sensuality, his presence, his aura being so overwhelming that it draws you in, and that he can consume you, subsume you, until the only thing that matters is him. The only voice that matters is his. And he can drown out anything, any haters, any people who want to go against him, etc., with just the power of his charisma alone. And that's kind of the vibe of the Rizzness. So he's taking this idea of like, oh, basically being sexy, I can seduce anybody. That's what, Rizz is, in a joking kind of, corny way online, like on, online for sure. But he's taking that and he's reworking it into something more about the push and pull of power, and the power of seduction, especially the power of seduction that's in the control of the object that's being observed. Because of course Taemin is always, like, a lot of his music is always playing around with the idea of being observed in a sensual, sexual manner, and that transition that he is able to do between the parts of him that he has control over and the parts of him he doesn't have control over. And I feel like he's saying, hey, I'm not just sexy, I can use the allure that you feel from me as power over you, to control you, So that's what the lyrics of the Rizzness are giving me. And in exerting that power, he's able to, like, become more himself, like there's, like, a lot of this era and this comeback has been about transformation. I mean, his story, I don't want to say story, his songs have all been very much, there's always a theme of transformation, right? Like, when was it that he had all of the wolf stuff? It's Never Gonna Dance Again. He had all the wolf motif, and like he was like transforming into and out of a wolf and stuff like that. His Japanese stage for Eclipse, where he's, he walks behind the big, T on the stage that's like a, LED screen, and a wolf walks by instead, and then he walks out the other side and it's him again. That idea of transformation being liberation, let's say. So I feel like he's, carrying those motifs here. Obviously in the video, let's talk about the video right now. Fantastic video. I believe the director, if I remember reading online, I haven't verified it, but I believe the director is the same director for Juice, and that was an incredible video. Loved Juice. For Chinese Juice. If you haven't seen it yet, watch it. Watch it. I believe it's the same director, and they did a great job on this. I love all the CGI. The CGI was great. They used a budget on this because everything looked fantastic, even though it's technically a performance / dance music video, or dance video, not really a music video, but it was so clean that it felt like a music video, you know? Like, and I mentioned that it felt like one of the one of the SM videos from in the old days. The only thing is that maybe they would have less CGI, or it would certainly be less polished, because that was like their mid 2000s. But yeah, no, I really liked the transitions between his, you know, light fairy self and his dark fairy self, and the match cuts between them. You know, what was so interesting, I didn't talk about this during either the concert or now. It's interesting that the setting still felt like purgatory or hell, or in some way, or a darker area, or not a darker, but like an underworld. It felt like an underworld, didn't it? Even when he was in basically the light fairy, the angelic fairy outfit, he was still in this really oppressive space, and the inky water was, you know, spreading along and coming closer and closer to him and his ladies in waiting, and the way the background and everything was pretty much the same. Even when he was in his, you know, dark fairy mode, it still was, or his demon mode, it still like felt like the same place. So it almost felt like the angelic version of him was going to the underworld, or passing through the underworld and transforming into his devil version. And interestingly, the music video ended with his devil version, which means that he's transforming from an angel into a demon. That's what it felt like to me, at least. Rather than him going back and forth, it almost felt like he was on his descent. Like, this is his descent. And in that descent, he's finding transformation into something otherworldly, because I call it his light fairy, or his, not light fairy, but his angelic fairy self, the version of him in white and with the pearls and everything, and he has the saint, the necklace full of saint medallions on his neck, which was, you know, quite symbolic. Obviously, we all know that he's very Catholic, so obviously there's a lot of meaning for him. Yeah, so it's like, it's so very much the angelic fairy part of it feels very apt to me. And then you get to his demonic side, and he's got the long nails, and he's got the, you know, makeup on his eyes and the elf ears, which obviously we don't see too clearly in this music video, but certainly it was part of the promotional material and the photos that he released. But anyway, it's interesting that he's moving from angelic to demonic as his end state, you know, by the end of the music video. And I did mention this in the concert reaction, but I think it's really interesting that when he's in his demonic state, he's isolated a lot. But when he's in his angelic state, he has his, you know, his ladies in waiting behind him, dancing with him. Whereas when he's in his demonic self, he's mostly alone, except for the beginning, when he, you know, moved to the side, and then the ladies, you know, with their claws, you know, circled him. That was, I'm pretty sure that was the only time when he was in his demonic form that he was with other people. Almost every other time he was alone, which I haven't figured out how I want to interpret it, but if we connect the Rizzness and the performance to guilty, which of course is connected to the philosophical books, Taemin being one of the biggest ones for this comeback that he pulled on. Obviously, I haven't said this on video yet. I don't think I have. Maybe I have and I just don't remember. But I felt like his costuming for the Rizzness with the elf ears and the claws, the talons, and the face makeup felt like transformation into the character in the Taemin book, Abraxas, which is a bird-like god, who's god character in that book. And so like so instead of like claws like a cat, instead they felt like talons of like a bird of prey of some sort, you know. So that's why I felt like that's him taking on the form of this, you know, this god figure, Abraxas. So I wonder if that's what we're getting at, is that he has taken on this form at the end of the video of this god, this bird god. But in doing so, he has isolated himself. So there's some kind of isolation there, and that's why when he's in that form, he doesn't have a lot of people around him. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and we had the lyrics also talking about being consumed. And I'm pretty sure if I remember the video right, when that was happening, we had the inky water kind of like really present and really in the foreground when he hit that, when he said that line, said that lyric. Yeah, so it's kind of still making me, the idea of being drowned in this, this kind of murky water, that is still is kind of leaning into my idea that this whole video is taking place in some kind of underworld, where Abraxas is, you know, the strongest or is the most in power, and that there's the part of him that's the angelic Taemin is, you know, undergoing not just this transformation, but undergoing a journey through the underworld into, and it's like struggling, like maybe they, you know, his ladies are his warriors who are, you know, traveling with him. That whole idea, and that he loses them along the way, maybe. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, no, I love the video. I love the bit. I love that the stuff in the in his demon form, or Abraxas form, shall we say, it's all black and white, and except for his jewelry, his gold jewelry, which is in color and is highlighted and stands out a lot. Such an interesting choice. I really like it though. Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. I'm going to probably watch that quite a few more times because, as you all know, I really like the Rizzness, and I really like the high concept of this devil, angel, dark fairy, light fairy, warrior slash god, possibly malevolent god, possibly, you know. I like the whole concept of that. Yeah, no, and the interesting religiosity of it, where it's not, it's not, again, it's not like super in your face religious. It's more subtle, you know, like the fact that obviously we have this angelic demon kind of imagery, heaven and hell imagery, but it's not even as blatant as it was in Idea. Idea was really heavy, whereas here it's a little bit different. And like he, you know, the Christianity or the Catholicism really, from the necklace full of saint, you know, medallions. If you don't know what they are, like if you haven't seen an up-close photo of that, you would have absolutely no idea that that's what he's wearing. So you could like not get that, not pick that up. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, no, I've been, and even in Guilty, you know, he has the cult leader vibes there, but you know, it's not necessarily like a Christian cult. It could be any kind of cult, but it still feels very culty, and then the worshiping that all of the dancers are doing feels very, you know, religious, but not like any kind of specific religion. I only put Catholicism on it because I know Taemin and I know that he's a, you know, devout Catholic. So so I know that Catholicism is probably some of what he was pulling from for this, you know. But I remember seeing the behind the scenes for Guilty, and I saw some of the rooms that he was in and all of the crosses everywhere. So I think there is still some, you know, blatant Catholicism with that too. Like, and all the school uniforms look like, you know, like boarding school, like a Catholic boarding school uniform, you know, stuff like that. So like the Catholicism is there, but I think it's not as stark. It's like interesting. It's like, it feels very, it feels less like the way it felt in Idea or even in Want, where it was like a direct reference to the Bible, whereas here it feels more slant, more, you know, off-center, where it's not a direct reference to the Bible per se, but the imagery is there that almost feels like Southern American Catholic imagery, where you have like American Gothic kind of imagery, where and maybe it's because I'm looking at this picture of him in a California desert, but it feels a bit like that, where it's about the religious experience of the people and that kind of frenzied religious experience that can happen when you're in like a a faith organization, and that's the kind of vibe I was getting from Guilty more, which you know connects with the cult leader vibe, because I know people don't want to admit it, but a lot of churches are actually kind of culty. They really are. So I think that's why this particular comeback has felt less like the kind of it's felt less like Catholic in the sense of, you know, Catholic Rome, and more like, you know, the Catholic South or Baptist kind of South, you know, like maybe not Baptist, but you know what I mean, like the American South kind of religion. That's what it's felt like to me. And again, I could be just approaching this from a lens of, you know, an American who was formerly kind of religious. I wasn't very religious, but I grew up in that kind of environment. So like I might be reading this through that lens. Like I said in one of my other videos, art is always very interpretive and it's very subjective, and it pulls out what you bring to it too. So I think that's what I'm bringing to it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel the same way? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm excited to see what you guys think of this video, the performance video, I mean. I loved it, obviously. I think it's very well made. It looks sharp, it looks incredible. Yeah, no, let me know what you guys think of the imagery and how it connects to Guilty overall. Because I do feel like it's still connected thematically, even though on the surface it doesn't look like it's connected. But I do think thematically it's very salient to the imagery and the themes and the topics that he covered in Guilty itself. So yeah, no, let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I don't know what my next video is going to be, but you know, if you're interested, you can go over to my Patreon and watch me react to the Metamorph concert. Yeah, no, I had a blast watching it, so, you know, feel free to jump over there if you're interested. If not, then don't worry about it. I probably will try and put together some kind of reaction, cut down reaction of the concert, at least some of my big moments of reacting, and put it on YouTube so you get to see some of that, as much as I can put up there. But I can't put it out yet because of my computer won't let me edit right now, so it's going to be a while before I get to that. This I might still be able to put out because I'm recording it in a shortened form, so I might still be able to do this, but we'll see. Yeah, no, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.